Let's boost your English skills.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Boost English Podcast. I'm Emma, your host.
Hey everyone, this is Mary. It's great to join you all once again.
Thanks for coming back, Mary. How have you been?
Pretty well. Work has been steady, but I'm finding time for myself too. How about you?
I've been doing fine. I recently tried a new AI-based language app just for fun.
Oh, is it any good?
Surprisingly helpful. It offers instant corrections and vocabulary suggestions.
That's interesting. I've been curious about those apps, but haven't tried one yet.
You should give it a shot. Anyway, before we jump into our main topic, how's the weather over there?
Bright and sunny. I'm enjoying it while it lasts. Any changes in your area?
It's been pretty rainy. I'm hoping for a clear day soon.
Me too. Gloomy weather can drain my energy.
I know the feeling. All right, let's move on to our main discussion, the future of English in the age of AI.
Perfect. This is such a big topic right now. Where should we start?
Let's begin with how AI tools are influencing English learning. People use chatbots, grammar checkers, and translation apps.
True. I've seen coworkers using AI to write emails. The technology corrects grammar mistakes almost instantly.
Exactly. And many learners rely on these tools to practice. They can get feedback anytime, which is great.
Yes. On the flip side, some might worry they'll depend on AI too much and not develop their own skills.
That's a valid concern. If we never review the grammar ourselves, we might not fully absorb it.
Right. Balance is essential. It's great to have AI help, but we still need human interaction.
Couldn't agree more. Real conversations let us learn intonation, humor, and cultural hints.
Exactly. That human element is irreplaceable. So how do you see AI shaping the English language itself?
Good question. We might see a more standardized form of English. People worldwide often learn from the same AI models.
That makes sense. Yet regional slang and expressions won't just vanish, right?
I don't think so. Local phrases are tied to culture. They'll keep evolving alongside tech.
I'm with you. That might even pick up new slang and incorporate it into its responses over time.
That's entirely possible. The technology can learn quickly by analyzing large sets of data.
Exactly. There's also the aspect of voice recognition. Some AI now handles different accents pretty well.
Yes, that's a huge help for non-native speakers with distinct accents. They can still be understood.
Definitely. It reduces the pressure to sound like a perfect American or British speaker.
Right. Everyone can keep their unique sound. It's more inclusive.
I love that. Another angle, do you think AI will replace English teachers someday?
I doubt it. Teachers do more than just check grammar. They guide, inspire, and offer cultural insights.
Agreed. It can handle repetitive drills, but complex discussions need real human input.
Precisely. So teachers might shift their role, focusing on high-level skills while AI does basic practice.
That seems like a win-win situation. Students get more thorough attention where it matters.
Indeed. Let's also consider data privacy. Some AI tools store user input. That might worry people.
Yes, folks should be cautious about personal details. Hopefully, stricter rules will protect users.
Right. Another issue is the cost of advanced AI tools. Not everyone can afford them.
True. That might widen the digital divide, so we need free or affordable solutions.
Exactly. Otherwise, some learners could be left behind.
That's a real concern. Maybe libraries or community centers will step in.
Let's hope so. All right, Mary, looking toward the future, do you think English will remain the top global language?
Possibly because so much AI research is done in English? But other languages might gain ground too, with better translation tech.
That's a good point. AI translation tools make it easier to communicate in various languages.
Yes, people won't feel forced to rely on English alone if they have instant translation.
Right. On the other hand, English might still be a bridge language in international business.
True, companies often require English for global operations. That trend likely continues.
For sure. So maybe we'll have a multilingual future where English still holds a central place.
Sounds logical. Technology could encourage everyone to learn multiple languages.
I like that vision. Let's also talk about cultural aspects. Do you think AI will flatten cultural differences?
It might standardize certain forms of communication, but I believe culture will remain strong in informal settings.
That's likely. People will still create memes, jokes, and slang unique to their region. AI can't fully erase that.
Precisely. Actually, it might even help preserve smaller languages by offering quick translation.
Yes, that's a promising aspect. Many endangered languages could get new life.
Indeed, let's consider the job market. English fluency plus AI knowledge might become a standard skill.
I see that happening. Employers will value workers who can use AI tools while communicating clearly in English.
Absolutely. And if you can speak more than one language, well, that's even better.
Agreed. Being bilingual or multilingual is a big advantage in an AI-driven world.
Right. So overall, do you think AI will make learning English easier or harder?
Probably easier. Resources are widely available now, and feedback is immediate. That's huge for self-study.
Yes, it's a game changer for people without access to traditional classes.
Exactly. Though there's a risk of losing personal touch if you rely only on machines.
That's something to watch out for. We still need human-to-human interaction to refine conversation skills.
No doubt about it. Plus, learning a language is partly about forming connections and understanding culture.
That's so true. Another concern, if AI can produce flawless essays, how do we handle academic honesty?
Schools might shift to more oral exams or in-class writing. They'll adapt to ensure genuine work.
Makes sense. You can't just rely on AI if the teacher wants to see your unique insights.
Right. Personal experiences and opinions are hard for AI to fake.
Precisely. That might push education to focus on creative and critical thinking.
I'd say that's a good change. Less rote memorization, more original thought.
Couldn't agree more. By the way, have you tried using AI to check your spoken pronunciation?
I have briefly. Some apps will highlight specific sounds you're mispronouncing.
Neat. That kind of instant correction can speed up fluency.
Exactly. Though having a real conversation partner is still the best practice, in my opinion.
I concur. You learn reaction, tone, and spontaneity in a live exchange.
Absolutely. Now let's consider the bigger cultural shift. AI is part of daily life, from voice assistants to online translators.
True. It's amazing how quickly it became normal to ask a virtual assistant for help in English.
Right. This might also boost everyday English usage for non-native speakers who practice with these assistants.
That's a plus. Consistent exposure helps you develop vocabulary and confidence.
Exactly. Let's pivot to how teachers might use AI in classrooms.
Sure, they could automate grading simple quizzes. Then they can spend more class time on deeper discussions or group work.
That's a great approach. Students might also benefit from AI-generated exercises tailored to their specific weaknesses.
Indeed, adaptive learning can be really efficient.
Yes, let's not forget though, teachers have the empathy factor AI lacks.
Right, a good teacher can sense when a student is stressed or confused.
Precisely. Emotional support is a big part of learning.
Couldn't have said it better.
All this talk about AI reminds me of the ethical questions. Who sets the standards for these tools?
That's a serious issue. Bias in AI data can shape language norms in ways we don't fully notice.
Exactly. We need diverse data sets to avoid pushing one particular dialect or cultural viewpoint.
Totally. It's important for developers to keep that in mind.
No question. Now, Mary, any final thoughts before we wrap up and explain our keywords and phrases?
Just that it's an exciting time. AI offers huge advantages for English learners, but we must use it wisely.
I second that. Let's move on to the vocabulary and expressions we've been using.
Great idea. Where shall we start?
Let's begin with digital divide. This refers to the gap between those who have access to modern technology and those who don't.
Right. Next, we mentioned rely on. That means to depend on or trust something for support.
Exactly. Another phrase we used was flatten cultural differences, which means making diverse traditions appear more uniform.
Good. Then we have standardized form of English, referring to a more uniform version taught or used globally.
Right. Also, We said bridging cultures. That means connecting people from different backgrounds or languages.
Correct. We discussed adaptive learning too, which is when educational tools adjust to each learner's needs automatically.
Yes, another term we touched on is voice recognition. That's technology that understands and processes spoken language.
Exactly. And we talked about overshadow. It means to make something seem less important by comparison.
Great. Another was rote memorization, which is learning by repeating information without understanding deeply.
Right. We also brought up empathy factor. That highlights the human ability to understand others' feelings and needs.
Precisely. And we said on the flip side, that's an idiom meaning looking at the opposite aspect of a situation.
Yes. Also, a bridge language often describes a common language used by speakers of different native tongues.
Exactly. Lastly, personal touch indicates an individual's unique style or approach that can't be replicated by AI.
Great selection. Listeners, try to use these words and phrases in your own conversations or writing.
That's the best way to retain them. Practice makes perfect.
Indeed. Any final note, Emma?
Just a big thank you to our listeners. We appreciate your time and hope you found this chat useful.
Absolutely. Keep exploring AI tools, keep learning, and remember to add your own flair.
Wonderful. Thanks again, Mary, for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
And thanks to everyone tuning in to Boost English. See you next time.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye for now.